Yeah. For me, I feel that I was lucky in becoming aware of what was going on. Basically throughout my life, I wasn't always happy. From time to time I'd be happy, other times I'd be, sad, stuff like that. Um, and I always thought, okay, well, if I had a house or if I had, a certain car or had certain things in my life, I'd be happy.
Right.
And why I consider myself lucky is at one time I had that, and that was probably right around 2002. I had a great job, was making the most money I've ever made in my life. I had a wonderful girlfriend at the time that I was truly in love with. First time in my life that I could say that I was actually truly in love.
Right.
So I had a great job, great girlfriend, great house. Had a boat, had a dog, had the perfect life.
Check.
Exactly.
Were you happy?
I was at work one day, and I remember the day clearly. I was at work, and I wasn't happy. And thought to myself, I have everything that I wanted. Why am I not happy? And, that caused me to have this awakening. So I didn't know who to turn to or what to, think. So I actually started going to the library, and I started checking out all of these self-help books. Well, come to realize that I was suffering from, negative thinking. And a lot of times negative thinking is, feeling you're not good enough or trying to predict the future. And as I started reading these books and becoming more aware of this thinking, and some of it I would read and I was like, this isn't negative thinking. And then the more I grew, the more I realized, yeah, it is. Some of it would be predictors that, I think everybody has. If you're running late to work and, you're like, okay, well, the boss is going to be mad, the boss is going to fire me, the boss is going to say this. Well, you're predicting the future, and that's not a good way of doing things. Because
creating the future, right?
In some sense you are,
Yeah.
but you don't know. Your boss might be running late, he might not be there that day, he might understand. So you create all this in your mind trying to predict the future. So basically, what I learned from there was just to, not have negative thinking, to not try to predict the future, just to be, and just to flow.
Sure. Craig, there's a lot of people who have, the ego gets in the way, and you have these negative thoughts. As you went through your own path, is there any, I don't know, learnings or words of advice as to how to stop thinking that way?
It's just basically learning awareness. What I found is before that point, you think everything is normal. You don't know any better. You go through life kind of being like the way you were taught, like society taught you, the way your parents taught you, and you think it's normal. You don't understand, you don't feel it, you don't see it until somebody else points it out, or an event. In my case it was the event that pointed it out. And so basically it's just getting out there and it's getting the knowledge, and it's not it's having the confidence to look inward and say, I'm doing the best that I can at the time, but there's always more room for growth.
Sure. Okay, so you get down this path and you realize that you're empty. You're not feeling what you want to feel.
Right.
And you start to realize that you do the self-help, and you start to find some resources to help you change your pattern of thinking. Where did it go from there?
Well, what I found is when you gain this knowledge, you think that, wow, this is great. As soon as I learn this, my life is going to be perfect. And for a short time, it's a little better. And what you realize is that it's kind of like an uncovering, or like a unpeeling of an onion. You've got these outer layers, and you'll peel off one layer, and you think everything is good. And then with this growth, you kind of realize that, there may be more layers underneath.
Sure.
And you just continually grow and grow and grow. And for me, my life has continually improved.
Continue to evolve.
Exactly. And it seems like life will give you what you need at the time. And so
let's say that you're 17 years old,
Mhm.
right? And you're probably just approaching your senior year in high school,
Mhm.
right? So you're about to go through all these significant transitions. If you had the chance to go back and have the conversation with 17-year-old Craig, what would you tell him
oh, there's a lot that I would tell
that
him.
you can put on film?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot that I would tell him. First of all, to look internally. That happiness comes from the inside. That it's not all this external stuff that that society and everything teaches us. It's not about having a fancy car or a fancy house or somebody else in your life. It's all about how you feel on the inside.
Right.
The other thing that I would tell myself is that we're programmed, we're taught throughout life. Most of it's when we're children, and it ends up being like computer programming. It can change.
Right.
So just be who you are and not be afraid of who you are. Another thing that I had went through was trying to be all the stuff that I wasn't. And I would go out and I would buy different videos and stuff like that to try to be somebody that I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And the bottom line is I didn't want to go through life alone.
Sure.
And so I thought that if I change and I become this person, people will like me more.
Right.
And luckily for me, what I decided was, I'd rather be myself and be alone than be somebody I'm not and have people around me.